Hi, welcome everyone to Elite Mob Podcast. Tonight we're here for the AEW Collision recap show. So, first off, we had Adam Cole's music hit because he was going on commentary. And I don't know how I feel about him on commentary. He didn't seem like he said much throughout the night. You got any thoughts on that?
It's funny you say that. I heard Cole's music hit. I had to make a quick bathroom run, right? So when I'm running to the bathroom, I'm thinking that he's gonna do like a quick in-ring segment or something.
Yeah,
When I came out, um Tony, I believe, not I ain't gonna go too far, but I believe she was coming out to the ring.
yeah,
And I was confused because
yeah.
I was like, where did Adam Cole go, right? And no disrespect on Adam Cole's wrestling ability or personality as a wrestler, but
Yeah.
I genuinely, so like maybe like 3 matches in, didn't realize. I was thinking, I almost tweeted, bro, what happened with Adam Cole? Like, did my TV glitch or something? Like, I was super confused. Finally, when I realized he was on commentary, I was like, whoa, like he just, something about his commentary was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I just say, I'm not saying he can't do it because I feel like if he was relegated to doing that, probably after his career, he probably would put a little bit more emphasis and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
he just, yeah, commentating at this point, not for him. That's all.
I didn't really
Yeah,
hear much of what he was saying, or I was paying too much, I guess, attention to the actual wrestling and stuff too. But which is what I do. I'll try to pay attention to commentary as much as I can, but if the match is like real good, like I'm more focused on the match and in the ring.
yeah.
So
The way the commentary works too is, remember, if they're not saying anything that good to like really make you listen to them, and not saying they have to be saying something bad, but if it's
uh,
just not something great, it's typically not going to catch your attention. Like some
mm-mm.
people, some commentators are real good at that, catching your attention. Um, eh, yeah, he's not one of them, but that's not his thing.
say
So
I say Taz is pretty good at it.
yeah,
Yeah, I always
that's
listen out for his voice when he does it,
for sure.
because he says some off the wall stuff sometimes. So
Yeah,
uh,
Taz is that. Did you see the 2300 arena package with Taz
yeah,
narrating?
yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I
And
can't wait till
Rhino's
those
gonna be there.
shows.
Yeah,
Who? Rhino?
Rhino's gonna be there. Yeah,
Oh, that's this week then. Yeah.
I believe
Yep.
so.
Cool. Yeah, I wonder if speaking on the topic of Rhino, I wonder if he's gonna be doing like a farewell tour or something. Is that maybe why he's doing this? Or I was kind of was thinking about it. I don't know. He might have a couple more years if he wants a contract, but I'd say he's probably soon to retirement. So
Yeah, he's definitely closer to retirement than his prime. I know he could still go for sure. Um, I would say probably we'll see kind of that. I feel like that night's gonna tell us a lot towards answering that question, because I feel
yeah,
like if he goes out and he cuts a promo and like he's just kind of talking to the fans and stuff like that, it's probably a farewell tour coming. Um, if he comes out there and answers like a caster open challenge and calls him and beats him in like 30 seconds or something,
yeah,
maybe he, has like a year run or something left in him that he's gonna do.
right,
Cause I know he just left TNA, right?
okay.
Um, so I mean, it's kind of a
I didn't
good
know he was
question.
still with TNA.
Yeah, he just left them recently.
Yeah.
Seen when
Okay.
I seen the post when he left them, but for the most part, I would say I think whatever he does, um, that night will probably give us an answer into that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Next up we had Tony Storm versus Lady Frost, AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. Lady Frost looks pretty outstanding against Tony Storm. Uh, and then they really showed off the venue a lot in the segment, and I really liked that venue that they're at. Like this, just the crowd setup. very intimate. It was very relaxing, cool. Well, you can tell every seat was sold out. Uh, and then I don't know, it was just something about how it looked too. I really liked the setup.
Yeah.
Um, time was Tony Storm wins. Tony has the mic, says this tramp is the champ, and says some other hilarious things, and including going out on the balcony, which was really cool. So,
Yeah, that was a
what's your
cool
thoughts
moment.
on the match and stuff, man?
I like the match. It's cool to see. I don't believe there's nobody that didn't know the outcome. But I did enjoy the match. I think that Frost is super underrated and has tremendous talent and ability. I know she's been showing it off recently in Mexico. But I'd like to see her showcased a bit more, along with a few other ladies. But I like the match. Tony's one line is after
Uh,
um, my lord. I I believe she went back to back with like maybe 6, 7.
Different
Quick,
crazy things, yeah.
yeah, she's like beyond something else right now. Um, the balcony spot I really enjoyed. I'm surprised there wasn't more people outside when she went on the balcony. Um, Usually, like there's like certain VIPs and forums, stuff like that. So there's usually like a big amount of people out, like when they go onto the hall and stuff. But I loved everything about it. I mean, Tony's pretty much been hit every time the ball's sent her direction.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter who's in the ring with her or what she's doing. She's been nailing everything.
She's awesome, always awesome. But yeah, I would like to say Lady Frost impressed me. I think she looks a lot better. I know she spent some time out. I think was it CMLL, and
Yeah,
so she went through a bunch of luchador type matches, and she came out looking good after all that. So
and that's
yeah,
I want to say that that's more her style in a way.
could be.
Um,
Yeah,
because she's super athletic. So I believe she has
right.
like a gymnast background. So
Okay. Yeah,
yeah, so that that's her thing. Just if
yeah,
they showcase her more, I feel like she's one of those wrestlers that fans will fall in love with. They just got to see her more.
yeah. I liked her new attire too. Looked pretty cool. So
Her entrances and gears always, I mean, superb. That's
yeah,
one thing she just gets that part of it.
right. All right. So after all that, we hear from John Moxley. John Moxley accepts the steel cage match for Samoa Joe, and that match is happening next week, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
believe that's on Dynamite.
yeah. Dynamite next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I have a few thoughts on it. First, the promo. Um, I liked it. I think Mox, after a lot of people trying to bash and downplay the Death Riders, I think they've picked up with what's going on,
Yeah.
especially their promos. Um, I think he's back to getting cryptic again. I don't know exactly what that means, but there was like a few quotes that he had in that. Let me make sure you have them down. When he said his affairs are in order, I know that typically doesn't have to mean anything, but it also could mean a whole bunch of things.
That
Um,
could be.
yeah, he also said, make sure you thought things through. I mean, what it, once again could
Yeah.
mean nothing, could mean
You
a
think
whole
any of
lot.
that was towards the Young Bucks?
Um, could be. Um, there. That's the thing. I mean, I'll tell you, I feel like that we're definitely in for a twist, regardless how it looks at it. Um,
Okay.
Whether that means that I'm not predicting any of this, and I'm not, fantasy booking, not any of that. I'm just saying examples of potentially.
Share your thoughts,
Um,
man. Yeah.
yeah. So when saying he hopes you thought it through, I mean, is Hobbs maybe not really with you? Because remember that technically was Hook's position. We know
Mm,
that they're somewhat together. So, or maybe even Shibata. does somebody is somebody, because Shibata would be dope with Death Riders too now. So um is
Maybe
somebody,
Hook.
I
Ooh,
mean, yeah.
because he's
So
been off TV and stuff.
and
Uh,
maybe he feels mad that Hobbs has his
Took
belt,
his
maybe.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So there's like a few things they could do there, but I just feel like Moxley was getting cryptic again. And reason why I brought up those topics because it puts me back in a position where I'm intrigued to see where it goes versus him just cutting a regular promo on Joe. I feel
Right.
like there's more layers to it. Also, where's Jack Perry?
Yeah, he's been
So
gone too. Anna Jay's back, so
mhm.
Jack Perry's probably back too, just
Yeah, because
waiting
they
on
were.
the right time.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not 100% sure, but I believe maybe I did see somebody say they was on vacation together. So if
Hmm.
she's back, that would give me reason to believe that he's back.
He's back.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, and we're still waiting for that "you're a good kid," no matter what they say, to come to tuition, right? So
Yeah.
we don't. We kind of feel. Well, I feel that he has something in the Moxley story, but as far as the promo, I love the fact that they're back to giving us layers and things to think about versus the
Mm.
so I do like that.
Yeah, me too.
Good promo.
Yep. All right. So now we got the four-way match for $100,000. I wonder if they actually get money or not.
And somebody, was it you that asked one of them? I didn't see them answer it.
I didn't
Somebody
ask. I don't think. No.
somebody asked one of them, and I didn't see them answer it. They probably did because I think it was Speedball or Kevin Knight, and they're usually active, so they might have answered it. Um,
Yeah.
I would like to know if they did, but I would also like to have them add like something to the end of that. Like maybe someone comes out with a briefcase of money.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
like something. So it just gives a little bit more spice to it because those matches do intrigue me.
Right. Right.
And then
And if
maybe
they
you
do,
could
that's a good opportunity for whichever wrestler wins it. You know.
also another thing too, and just like speedballing, no pun intended. Um, I feel like say if they do a certain amount of these, some of them could be a $400,000 match, one might be 100 or 50 or whatever the case may be. It might be $1 million match, right? I
Yeah.
feel like there should be prices where you could then cash in that money. Cause say like a heavyweight title shot costs $3 million, right? And
Yep.
you and there's been, say $400,000 or $500,000 matches, a couple $1 million matches, a couple hundred that, and Kevin Knight has 3 million in that money. He should be able to cash in, or maybe like 200,000 for like a tag title shot, and he wins
That would
two hundred
that'd be
thousand.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it would show like their winnings for the year.
Matters or
Um,
something.
Yeah, and like at any time you can cash it in, but then maybe they do little skits on YouTube too. Like I just blew 50,000 at the casino. Now you see
Yeah.
like he went down fifty
Make
thousand.
some make
You
some
know,
good video packages out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then you see like this dude didn't win as much, but he been saving his bread, so he's getting the cash in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have them carry the money around in briefcases. Sometimes somebody robs you for it. Like you
Yeah.
could do, yeah, like you could do a whole bunch of different things with it. I
Right.
just like to see more intertwined with those money matches. But
Right.
let's get into the match.
Okay. We got Roosh versus Sammy Guevara versus AR Fox versus Kevin Knight. Man, it was so good to see Sammy Guevara back. I met him in person at the after party. Man, he's one of the most chill guys ever. He dabbed me up like I was one of his homeboys, bro. He's like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" He just threw his hand up and we collab like that, and it was cool, man. He seemed like a
He's
very
from
nice guy. I
he's
know he
from
gets a
out there,
lot of
right?
hate. Huh?
He's from
Do
out
what?
there, right? Is Sammy's from out there, right?
Yeah, I think he's from like the San Antonio area. Yeah, he's from the San Antonio area.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, him and Dustin Rhodes, they were both taking pictures together with somebody else. I think it was Abaddon and one of the Texas Rangers cheerleaders. I think were there. I got the picture. I can post it up someday. But um, both of them were really cool
Yeah,
to meet in person. So,
yeah.
but enough about that. Let's go back into the match. In the middle of the match, you see hologram looks from the rafters, and then I got Sammy Guevara winning. So,
What did you?
what'd you think about it?
All right. So
Huh?
I was gonna ask what you thought about it, or you want me to jump in first?
Uh, um, I really enjoyed watching Sammy wrestle again, and I liked the different spots from outside to the from the inside to the
Are
outside of
you
the ring.
catching? Hold on, bro. You
Um,
catching that static?
I'm catching like you keep repeating yourself. I
Yeah, I
think.
don't know what it is. Think it could be something to do with
Yeah.
these headphones, but I don't want to shut it off or go through the problem we had last time. So we'll
Uh,
fight through it.
I don't hear
As
static,
long
but
as you don't hear that, that's
yeah.
all that matters.
All right. Yep. Um, but yeah, that's all. What did you got? Well, wait, hold on. There was towards the end of the match, Sammy Guevara tried hitting his finisher like multiple times, and on that third and final time, he finally hit it. But I was like, come on, like how many times is somebody going to kick out of a or reverse a finisher? Like, but other than that, it was a pretty cool
I
match.
I
Yeah.
definitely agree. Quick tidbit on Sammy. I remember when he was just YouTube and traveling the world as a YouTuber wrestling. He definitely, I mean,
Yeah.
I heard you about to touch on it. He definitely don't deserve the flack that he gets. I know there's been comments he made before that got taken way out of context, like just way
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
context. And I know that there's been, um, a few circumstances that was unfortunate, but he's not a bad kid. I
Yeah.
definitely think he's
Oh,
a great kid. But the match, I
no.
was cheering for Roosh. I
Well,
yeah,
but yeah.
he's
I bet a lot of people were, but I'm a big Sammy fan for some reason. So, well, reasons I just said, but so yeah, I was like hoping Sammy would get the win, and he did.
yeah. I
So
wasn't.
it's
Don't get me
kind
wrong.
of cool.
Wasn't mad at all that Sammy won. Um, I just when I looked at the match, I felt like Roosh is already. I thought he was maybe already a bracket above, like as far as on the totem pole than the people on the match. I think when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, he's the clear cut winner. Like he's easily.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
I wasn't mad with the outcome. It's not like he didn't look strong in the match. I love the fact they're still using AI Fox. I feel like he's really finding himself right now in AEW, and I think they're
yeah,
starting to realize what they have in him. Um, so the winner, I loved it. It was definitely one of the matches of the night contenders for sure. Um, and I told you like kind of what I would like to see them do with the money matches, just kind of incorporate more. Um, I mean, I guess you could even do like a I guess like a I wouldn't say a money title because we know we had those before, but like maybe like a title that they compete for in those matches that they don't even wear around. It's just like or like
mm,
something that just brings a little bit more intrigue, so we don't gotta ask, does the money really come? Like, give us some type of follow up, you know?
yeah. Right, exactly. All right. We got the Samoa Joe video package next. You got any thoughts on it?
Absolutely. I gotta actually got Joe's been killing the promos. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Um, he definitely made. I feel like if you wasn't interested in the match, he should have made you more interested, which I believe he did. The thing that intrigued me that I noticed the most was the T-shirt. Now I know we kind of been saying that we want to see more, a little bit more supernatural, or just like a little bit more dance on that line over that line, right? Um,
Mhm.
he had the
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth shirt on, which is
Right. That's right.
the
Yeah, he
twisted
did.
metal
Yeah.
one. Um,
Yeah.
and here's me fantasy booking something I would like to see. Not one of them people that's gonna get mad if I don't see it, but what I would like to see. Don't know if it's possible. Don't know if there's, you know, contractual things why this can't happen. I would assume not, where he had that shirt on, and they showed it clear as day. And they've promoted the trailers on AEW, so I don't think there's nothing contractual. Um, but I would like to see maybe if they're gonna assuming that they could squeeze in. I don't even care if it's now and then Joe gets the rematch at the pay per view. Remember we talked about that, right? That is probably the most likely right now for Joe to lose somehow and go against him at the pay per view again. Not say he's gonna win there, but just because it's getting close to it, how do you kind of squeeze in another feud that's pay per view worthy, right? Um, I
Yeah.
would like to see Joe lose this week on account of maybe it's just Death Riders jumping in. Maybe he gets turned on. Maybe Hook comes out and is the one to turn on him. Maybe
Right.
they all turn on him. And that all of them, maybe, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It's potential.
well, they still got the belts, right?
I know,
Yeah.
but maybe they just the other three walk off with the belts. You know, they've kind of flip flopped in those situations.
Mm,
So like Jay White and them got stripped when he couldn't defend it. But then
right.
Mox just defended it, right? So there's a gray
Yeah.
area there. But I would love to see him lose and then show up at the pay per view in the ice cream vehicle as Sweet Tooth with the mask.
That'd be
That
cool. I'd like to
I
see
feel like
that.
that's like it.
There shouldn't
Go ahead.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a problem with him doing that at least
Yeah,
once or
I
something,
don't
you
think
know?
so neither. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't say do it forever because um we want to see Joe. But what I would say is use it like Finn Balor's the demon. And once in a while, when you really get him angry, he might come out at with that clown mask and the ice cream car in your ass. Like you know what I'm saying? I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people, it's definitely gonna go viral on YouTube. But I feel like a lot of Twisted Metal
Right.
fans would have to at least turn in to see that.
No, exactly. Yeah. That would be cool for sure. And then right after that video package, we got Stokely and FTR, um, kind of talking about their main event that's going to happen tonight and leading up to
Yeah,
that. Um, that's basically what that was for, and I really enjoy stuff like that if it's something that's going throughout the
yeah.
show. So I really did enjoy that little segment there. What do you think about
I
it?
enjoyed it as well. I think they're a good combination. They actually got a lot more chemistry than looking from afar. If you didn't, see them together already. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, same thing with you. I like when they give us something in the beginning that builds up towards the end of the night, and it
yeah.
just builds the intrigue and making you want more. So yeah, I loved it.
All right. Cool, cool. Next up, we had Megan Bain versus Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron was giving it her all at the very beginning of the match. She was looking really good there for a little bit, first 5 minutes, but then after that, Megan Bain just picked it back up and just shorter and got the pin. So it was a very good match overall.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah,
no problems with it. Like the match, Holly's. I mean, we know the Megan Bain stuff, top tier, amazing, all that good stuff. Holly's development has been a great thing to watch. Um, she
yeah,
also has a character where she can afford losses and it don't matter. She's so lovable that you can lose matches. Like I know this
for
time
real.
to for you to send her in a serious trajectory. You don't want to be that forever. Like you want to win and you want to whatever.
Yeah,
But for the time being is her being showcased and just letting people see her as a win because people gravitate to her. Um, the match actually over exceeded what I thought. I thought Bane would finish her off a little quicker than that. And it was a pleasant surprise that that wasn't the outcome. Um, Happy that Penelope's still coming out with her. I do want to see Penelope get a little bit more showcase more in the win category. Um,
Mhm.
and not turn into like a full like um side character, like, so I do want to make sure that maybe they end up feuding in the future. Um but
Yeah, probably
yeah,
so.
but other than that, I liked what they did. I liked that Anna came out for the save at the end. Um I wanna see Holly and Anna together more. I don't know how that the dynamics or the chemistry of them two is gonna work, but we have seen them around each other for bits and pieces, but just them two together, I am interested in that. What about you?
No, I already gave my opinion on it.
No, I
I
mean,
just thought it was a decent match.
no, not the match. I mean, as
Well,
far as like Anna and Holly going forward.
Anna and Harley both.
No, like as like a team,
Yeah,
as a team.
you're right. Yeah. I think it's okay for now. I got to see more to really have an opinion on it. But they're friends outside of the company too.
Yeah,
So, because they went to what was it, Coachella
yeah,
together,
that was
something like that.
hilarious interview. Coachella
Yeah.
together. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
so we agree pretty much on that. What was next, my brother?
Next is John Moxley comes out to the ring, does a promo. Um, I don't really remember much of what he said, really.
Called pretty much
Um,
called up.
I think I might have gone to the bathroom at that time or something.
He,
So I'm gonna leave that up
yeah,
to you.
he called out. He came out to the ring. He called out Joe. Um, Kind of rebutted a few things that Joe said about him. Um, I mean, one of the main things he wanted to know was wanted to know why Joe doesn't understand, or no, excuse me, he wanted to know what Joe was talking about when he said he doesn't understand. So he wanted to know what Joe thinks he doesn't understand. Um, I would say that's pretty much the gist of it. But I think that goes back to what I was saying is they both started getting cryptic, so
Right.
like
Okay.
Mox, I feel
Yeah.
like was being cryptic in that promo, and I feel like Joe combated that by being cryptic, um, and throwing something out on his own. But I think that Joe was calm over Mox's promo, and whatever Joe said, Mox couldn't handle. So Mox, I feel like does have like in this character has levels of trust problems, maybe, where what Joe
Okay.
said got to him a lot more than what he said to Joe, which is why he stormed the ring. And I mean, I guess we'll see. But they're both throwing little cryptic messages.
Too. Right. Um, we had the Outrunners backstage promo. Love to see them back on like Collision. Uh, so other than ROH, I know they've been doing a lot of promo with I guess it's NASCAR or something throughout the
Yeah,
weeks. Have you seen their
yeah, I think
posts?
that AEW might have something to do with a few NASCAR cars. Um, I did see somebody say that they don't know why AEW is not promoting it. I do ask that myself. Um,
Yeah.
that's one of the. There's been a few questionable things as far as like things that look like they should have been promoting lately, and I believe that's one of them because if you have AEW logos or outrunners or anything to do with your company on NASCARs, I mean, I wouldn't even.
Yeah, they should be
Yeah,
collabing.
like I wouldn't
Yeah.
even have known if I didn't see the Twitter post, and it wasn't what the Twitter post wasn't from them. I found that awkward, but it do look like the Outrunners are doing something with NASCAR for sure.
Yeah, which is pretty fun. I've enjoyed their posts that they've been having about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did
it's
did
pretty
you?
cool.
I like
But
one thing I want to add in about their promos. Um, I do like that they throw because you remember they added it to their entrances. But now they have like that old school touch going with their promos where it looks like it's recorded from like the old school like handheld camcorder.
yeah,
Yeah,
camcorder.
I
Yeah,
do like that touch. They're always, interested. They're must watch TV. The more you put them on TV,
right.
the more money they're gonna make you. Um So you know how we feel about the outrunners.
Yeah. I feel like this is like not even a gimmick. I think it's them two or them just being themselves all the time, and it just goes with it
Yeah,
perfectly.
they might be
So
hardcore wrestlers.
I'd call it more than a gimmick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt
Uh,
it.
all right. But next up we had Josh Alexander versus Brody King. Uh, I went to the time limit. It was a very incredible matchup. Uh, hope to see a rematch, and I'm guessing we might see a Buddy Matthews return soon too. So I think he's healing up pretty quickly. That's what he said during the Chris Van Vliet
Yeah,
interview. So hoping to see him back pretty
yeah.
soon. And I think there was some there's a reason why I wrote that down too. Towards the end of the match, that I guess something kind of hinted towards it somehow. I don't know if you wrote it down or not.
Um,
I just couldn't remember since this show was this past
as far as
Saturday.
him returning,
Uh, yeah,
well, I didn't write it down. I might have seen it at the time. The one thing that I would say it probably was, which is something that made me think that, is the fact that they Archer comes down at the end, and they was basically jumping him, and it's the numbers game. So when you got someone that has an
yeah,
injured partner, and there's the 2-on-1, it kind of just makes you feel like I thought Buddy might run out right there. So I just feel
yeah,
like them jumping him is gonna inevitably has to lead to a Matthews return.
yeah. Right. Okay, that's probably what it was and why I wrote it
Yeah,
down. Just should have explained it a little bit better, but
don't matter. That's what I'm
um,
here for. I got you.
yeah, yeah.
You're
Thank you, bro.
welcome, my brother.
Well, the match was pretty good, man. Overall,
Yeah.
and like I said, it went the time limit, so I hope hope they rematch soon. Maybe pay per view or next week
Yeah.
sometime. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
even honestly, I feel like they led up to maybe even like a better match. Um, because I feel like that match showcased both talents, what they both could do amazingly, right? And at the end,
yeah,
if you like looking at how it went, um, Brody basically outlasted it, even though the draw happened, because Alexander couldn't walk out on his own. You had Archer come down to help
yeah,
him, and you had Brody and Archer brawling. So I feel like there's also a way you could sneak Alexander out of this, so neither one of them lose, and it ends up being Brody versus Archer. Um,
mm,
like that was kind of how I seen it. Because other than that, I don't know why they would have sent down just Archer. The Don Callis family has a lot more than just him. So it kind of was like a slugfest between them two at the end. And I feel like it was a good way for two top talents to not be able to beat each other and both end up better with nobody have to take the loss ever. If you don't
yeah.
if you don't
Right.
go back that route. But I would love to see it.
Especially when yeah,
Right?
especially when they're trying to make Brody King look stronger, and then Josh Alexander, of course, is
Yeah. You
newcomer.
don't want to get
So
into
and you don't want to see him lose a bunch because he did lose his debut match against Hangman,
exactly.
but uh,
Exactly.
but he's looking strong versus his other opponents,
Yep.
and he got the win in the tag team, I guess last week.
Yeah, he did.
So
He pinned
yeah,
Brody.
right, and that led up to the match. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
All right. Then we had a crew video package. Didn't really think much of that, but they said they're ready for the next level. You got any thoughts on it?
I'm a fan of Crow. It might be getting a little too far ahead of us, but I know that they was in the crowd for, believe, one of the bigger tag matches for the night. So it looks like they're jumping to the next level. Um, the package didn't do nothing crazy for me. Didn't do anything bad, but I think it helped promote them. But it was a good video package.
Yep. And then you had Max Caster Open Challenge. Daniel Garcia answers. Uh, I had written down 5 minute time limit. Is that correct?
Yeah, because Max decided to make it a 5-minute time limit. Not that
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia needed that much time. I think the idea was he
No.
could avoid losing in 5 minutes. That just wasn't the case.
Then, of course, Daniel Garcia won, and Daniel Garcia calls out FTR after the match. Um, so I'm guessing we're gonna see Daniel Garcia team up with some people. I don't know who, but probably Paragon maybe, but we'll see.
I'm
So
hoping it leads to him just going back with FTI, but um, I the match, I'm kind of at this point. I don't know what's going on with the casted squashes. I don't dislike or like it. I'm just kind of riding the boat, see where it goes. The DG, I have a preference to him ending up with FTI, but keeping him showcased isn't a bad thing. All in out, I didn't have no problem with what they did there.
uh, then after that, we had Lexi Nair backstage with Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn, interrupted by Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. So I guess they're leading up to a matchup soon. Another one, I guess.
Yeah,
I thought they already
well,
had one,
I
but
think the math was Blake Christian said he almost beat him, so now Lee Johnson wants his match. Um,
mm,
I still like both talents. I still would have liked some type of explanation. I know that Induka left, which kind of sucked, obviously, because I thought
yeah,
Lee J had potential. And then, Christian and Lee just kind of popped up sporadically. I would just like some type of explanation in that. But as far as the promo, I think they did good. And I do think that Lee and Bowens will have a good match. And Christian, I mean, he's obviously in favor of the company because he's being showcased, I mean, greatly right now. And I'm a Blake Christian fan, so I do appreciate that.
yeah. Let's talk more about that EJ situation. Did you see what he posted on Twitter
Yep.
and X? Yeah. Uh, I kind of lost my respect for him after that.
Um,
So
what then? Actually, did I miss it? What did you see? What then?
he called Tony Khan a pencil neck dweeb or
Uh,
something.
did he?
You must have
No,
missed it.
I don't know if I seen it, but
No,
did he tag Tony, or that's like or he just was putting.
no, you know who he's talking about. I would have to go back and read it to
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I look at it like I respect EJ. He's put a lot of work
I
in for a
don't.
bunch of different things. So, I mean, I know that he was underutilized. So if he's
That's true. He
yeah,
was. He definitely
if
was.
he's,
But
I mean, I just leave it.
it just how he went about it afterwards was kind of questionable.
I respect your opinion for sure, but like I said, I don't want to get into his personal reasons on that. I personally didn't even see the
Okay.
tweet. Like if he
Well,
tagged.
okay. I'm gonna have to find it later because now I can't even pull up his Twitter. I wonder if he deactivated it or something.
No, I doubt that he deactivated it.
But it was, you know what? I think I screenshotted it. Yeah. He posted, "I was never meant to sit. Benches were made for the unsure. I've heard the call now. It's time to move. If you think this guy was made to ride the bench, you'll need to call the 1800 number because you suffer from mesothelioma, you pencil neck reject." Now, who do you think he was talking about that?
I mean, I guess I just preferably wouldn't assume because I feel like that could be applying to multiple situations. Like it could obviously apply to Tony Khan. Um, he could be calling people on the internet, pencil neck geeks. Um, it
Mm,
also,
yeah.
it also could be. I mean, he was.
If he comes out and puts more context
Yeah,
behind it, then maybe I'll change my
that's
mind. But it seemed like that was pointed
yeah, and that's
towards option A.
yeah,
You know?
and that's the thing. I want to say that a lot of the time now, especially in like with like the social media and a lot of people texting versus calling and actually like talking and not being able to see like actual
Yeah.
mannerisms or things like that. It's like super easy to jump to conclusions on things like that. So um and I don't disagree with you because that probably what you said would probably be at least majority of people's overall opinion of what he's talking about. Um, but
Yeah.
I would just prefer to see more, a little bit more context, because that assuming shit sometimes
Right.
don't work in your favor. So that's why
Right.
sometimes I just
Yeah.
avoid it a little bit. But I do respect your
Yeah.
opinion, even if he's talking about him. Um, I guess
Yeah.
I would have to, call him up for an interview and get his side of it to even kind of get the right context. Um, for my main reason would be they could anybody you work for any reason y'all could hate each other and y'all could have super differences. Um, but I mean, as long as nobody was like violated or like there wasn't like like things that
No, his contract was just
Yeah, that's
expired.
what I mean.
Uh,
That's so
yeah.
it's like look at like for example, and I won't detour on this because I don't want to get hypercritical on this, right? But it's like if a woman leaves a company and says she was, mentally broke down, sexually abused, body shamed, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
I'd be hypercritical because in that concept, you want to you kind of got to get to the bottom of it. Like you want to know if that's
Mhm.
like kind of how a company is getting down. Um, when it's just like like a little quarrel, like two people don't like each other, it could be
Yeah.
like there wasn't like nobody like belittled nobody, right? You just mad at each other. You probably could get over
Mhm.
it in the future. You know what I'm saying? So I stay out the middle
Yeah.
because for one reason, if they resolve it in the end, we just look like the crazy one. You know what I'm saying? That
Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I'll give it a chance if we get more context out of it.
put it like
Yeah.
this. I love
I'm not on a hate train or nothing. It just I maybe it was a little unprofessional for me
yeah,
to go out there and say that right after you're released from somewhere. But nowadays everybody's um, shooting on each other. Like I've seen so many interviews of current WWE stars shooting on
yeah,
CM Punk, like real life shit.
yeah,
And then you got uh, I saw a clip today on X showing an interview with Becky Lynch, and she shoot on
yeah.
Bailey and Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
I
if
mean, maybe we're just in a different time now.
one thing I
So
don't know about Becky, I genuinely when she's talking, she always looks like she wants to laugh. So I don't well when she looks
mm,
angry anyways, she always has like a semi wanting to laugh look that I could see, right? And I genuinely at this point can't tell if she's working or shooting no more. Because I don't know if she wants to laugh because she's
well, it's not a work if you're talking about somebody else from another
no, but this
company.
but this is what I'm telling you though. Like I don't she just always is smirking. So she like when she talks, she's so unreadable. You know what I'm saying? It's like you assume she wants
Mm,
to laugh because she's joking, right? But then you don't know if she's just
yeah.
kind of like has that
She she kinda smirked after what she said, you know? Yeah,
she just has that aura
yeah,
to her where I mean obviously she's probably shooting more than working if it's someone that's not in the company, whether they're friends or not, it's still kind of a shoot. Doesn't mean it's beef. But even when she was doing it, like if you watch what she said about Punk and Seth, obviously, she loves Seth. That's her husband. But when she's shooting on him in that interview, you just don't know if she's serious or not. It looks like she's serious, but it also
oh,
looks like she's not.
hmm. I didn't see that part. I just saw the clip of when she's talking about Bailey and Mercedes. I didn't see her shoot on her
Yeah,
own husband. So,
she's good at what she does. I just say that.
yeah.
What we have next, bro?
Uh, Gates of Agony versus some
Ooh,
local talent, squash match. The Learning Tree calls out Gates of Agony.
That's the
So,
one the crew was watching along in that match.
yeah,
Yeah, they were
right.
outside.
Okay.
Um, I like the Gates being showcased. I have no problem with it. Um, More tag teams need to get pushed. There needs to be a little bit more emphasis on the tag division. But I do like what they're doing with the Gates, and I feel like they're a tag team I mean, they look the part. Like they look like a force. I know they're a force. Just continue pushing them. Um, and find like a they need back to back real good feuds, and I feel like they'll be super over.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think so too. Uh, After that, we had FTR versus
Oh, oh,
Paragon tag team match.
oh,
But did I miss
one
something?
thing at the end of that match, and I do love that AEW did this. I know they haven't did it much, if at all, right? At the end of that match, Big Bill and Keith appeared on the Titan on the Tron, um, and they called out the Gates to the parking lot for a brawl, which I believe it went to infomercial, infomercial
Mm,
commercial. But when it came back, it was the Gates of Agony meeting Bill and Keith in the parking lot, and it gave us like a good 5 minute brawl in the parking lot, probably kind of giving you what we're gonna see in the future with them. Um,
yeah.
and that was a good. There was one part in that I think they messed up. I think the cameraman might have botched. I'll leave it alone. We'll
Mm.
talk off camera. People caught it. They caught it. Um, but all in all, I love that segment. Did you see that one?
I guess not. I think that was about the time I started getting ready to go out that
Yep.
night because
I know.
we were already talking about not doing the
Let him.
after
Oh,
show.
that. Let
So
him know. Let him know
yeah.
where you was going, my brother. You had to. It took you 3 days to recover.
Oh, my local there's a local bar around me, and they were having a wet T-shirt contest, and I wanted to go see.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I had to
yeah,
tell my brother. Right.
had
Go
some
ahead.
had some drinks, and everything. Had a good ass time. There was also a Magic Mike contest for the guys, so I got in
Oh
on it.
yeah.
There's like 7 of us. Yeah, I got 2nd
Oh,
place,
nice, nice.
but
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
So I just did a little dance. I poured some beer all over myself. Yeah. It was
yo,
awesome. And then I started dancing up on this one chick,
yep.
so,
And this is why our
yeah.
collision is late because I had to tell my brother, listen, right? You gotta live life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
I'm
right.
happy you enjoyed yourself.
So,
Yes,
thank you,
sir.
bro.
You're welcome. You earned that one. Been working hard. Um, Last thing, one second. I'm gonna have to take that in a second. But yeah, we have the FTR versus Paragon, the 2 out of 3 falls, which was the last match. Um, I am running short for time, so this one we might gotta just speed through a little bit, but run through it, my brother.
Okay, that's fine. FTR gets the win. Daniel Garcia comes to the ring. Um, there's a bunch of spots on the outside that were pretty rough looking throughout the match. Other than that, I didn't get to see much of it because I was getting ready and stuff. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and take
Yeah, I
over.
can give you kind of the gist of it. It actually was a real good match. Um, FTR got, excuse me, Paragon got the first pin. FTR got the second and third. Um, DG came out with a crowbar and Mike. Um, they left the show on a hanger. He didn't attack FTR. He told them that he had love for them and basically that next week he did the who was doing it? I think Shannon Sharp on the Lakers in 5. You know that what he was doing? He said next week, he said, what did he say? Basically he was like, I don't care if it's FTR, CPR, ER.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
he
that
was like,
part.
yo,
Yeah.
whoever, like next week, meet him in the ring and he's gonna beat the answers out of them. And the show kind of ended there, which is
Mm,
good because leaving on a cliffhanger for some reason, I don't per se need that. Like I'm checking the YouTube clips, the in betweens, each show. I know what's going on. Um, and I hate cliffhangers in my TV shows. Like I want the episode to end
Really?
just well, and I'm still gonna be there next week. When you put me on a cliffhanger, you
Yeah.
make me want to throw the remote at the TV because now I gotta wait a week for the next one.
That's
Yeah,
understandable. There's some really bad cliffhangers
yeah.
out there.
So especially when it's a
Yeah.
long period in between the cliffhanger. Um, but some people say in wrestling, that's like their intrigue. Like if they don't get a cliffhanger, they don't care what happens next week. So um I see why AEW's been using cliffhangers more. Like I said, I don't personally need it. Not mad at it or anything, but I just don't personally need cliffhangers. But it was good for people that do need that type of stuff and need
Yeah.
those packages that to keep them interested. It did its job, and I get that's why they did it. So I do believe there's a lot of people throughout the week that are probably wondering what's going to happen um, when him and FTR get in the ring again. Personally, I just hope that he goes with FTR. That's kind of just where I'm leading to. Um, I think
Yeah.
his not his charisma, but his spark is dwindling, and I think being a heel with FTR right now would be the best move for his career. What would you say about that part of it?
Um, I agree with you on pretty much everything you just said. Um, uh, cliffhangers. There's been some pretty bad ones, but some cliffhangers I like
Yeah,
because it does keep me hooked and waiting for more. I'd say probably the longest cliffhanger I had to wait for was between seasons of The Walking Dead
oh
when
Jesus.
Negan bats some people, and that was like awful. And that's when like they lost half their
Yeah, you
audience.
waiting for like something. You talk about when he killed somebody you didn't know who did it. But like rated
Hmm.
wise, that's like one of the most loved cliffhangers. I that was one where I almost threw the remote at the TV. Like, how long do I have to wait to figure this out? Like you want me to keep
Right.
my interest for this way too long, my boy. It's a show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if I would have, and you're right. I think that I didn't dive right back into Walking Dead after that. Um, I let the whole next season go, and then I watched it. Um, I did see the spoiler of who died. Unfortunately, people online don't care about what you want to see. So I did see
Yeah.
the spoiler. Um, but I would have been more satisfied if I would have found out who died at the end of that. It
Right.
just for a little bit. I would have been more satisfied at the end of that episode, you showing me who died, and then me wondering where you go next when the season starts,
Right.
versus you leaving me where you left me. Because, like I said, cliffhangers bother me more than they make me want to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
I do realize
Um,
I'm probably not in the majority with that opinion, but that's my opinion.
um, when it comes to TV shows like that, and I'll agree with you, but when it comes to wrestling, I kind of like the cliffhangers. I always have, especially back in the late '90s with the WCW and Sting and NWO. They did a lot of cliffhangers back in the day, and it always wanted you to watch the next week's episode to see what was going to happen. Like especially when Sting first debuted in the crow paint and
Yeah,
stuff, and he was watching from the rafters. You always wanted to see the next week's
I
episode.
agree with you.
So it being in wrestling, I don't mind it. But
I'm gonna give you a
oh,
real thing. I agree with you. No buts, no buts. I agree with
okay,
you.
all right.
I think what took that from me, and I'll be dead real with you. Um, and this is why I don't get too much into this shit as far as what we're doing, right? Um, that feeling was cool when you knew you only had to wait maybe 1 week, right?
Right.
And the internet didn't ruin
That,
it for you.
that's why I say it's good for wrestling, but like other TV shows, no, I don't really care for it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the problem now is when it was back in the days, and it really would leave me on a seat bender, and I'm young, and I'm drooling for the next week, and it worked. Now you leave me on a cliffhanger for five people to tell me tomorrow what it is anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Right.
that's
Stay away from
so
those people.
Yeah, but you do you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's what I mean. Like we come at it from a fan. And we'll report things that are already out there maybe, but
Right.
like I'm not coming from that perspective to ruin your surprises. Like, and that ain't a jab, because some people get paid to leak those things, and that's why people
Right.
pay, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I'm personally not interested with me being leaked those surprises. So I'm definitely not trying to spoil them for you personally. That's just
Correct.
my take on it. And
Right.
I hate that shit.
Well, everyone, that wraps up our recap show. Shout out to Mob Miz. You can follow him on all social platforms, Mob Squad 508, and myself at Took Timbo on all social media platforms. Mostly I'm on just X, but yeah, that's our recap show. Thank
Last
you
thing I
guys for
want to
listening.
hold on, brother. One thing. Match of the night. I'll give you mine's quick. Alexander and King went in a draw. I know some people hate that, but that's my match of the night.
Okay. That would be mine too, but I can't really give an honest opinion because I couldn't really pay attention to the last two out of three. I need to go back and watch it. So I'm not gonna do match of the night, but that match was awesome.
Don't
Yeah.
don't worry. I
Right.
respect that, my brother. I tell you, I watched both and I loved both. Um, but Alexander and Brody just they tore the house down. They didn't need 3 pins. They didn't even get 1 pin, and they
Right.
got the match of the night in my head. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
So that's how I would go about that. But bro, it's good talking to you. Um, be online talking to you soon. But you
Yep.
have a blessed night, my brother, and everybody that tuned, or everybody that's gonna see this soon because this is pre-record. Make sure you follow at Took Timbo all social medias, at
Thank
Mob
you.
Squad 508 all social medias. Thumbs up, comment, repost, support the wave. Let us know what we need to do to support you guys. We love you all. See you soon.
Peace.